We need to find out the value of the given trigonometric expression. Let us begin. So here we have tangent of 6 degrees multiplied to tangent of 42 degrees times tangent of 66 degrees times tangent of 78 degrees. What we'll do, we'll rewrite each of the tangent function in the ratio of sine and cosine. So that means tangent of 6 degree will become sine 6 degree divided by cosine of 6 degree. Then tangent of 42 degree can be expressed as sine of 42 degrees over cosine of 42 degrees multiplied to tangent 66. So that's sine 66 degrees divided by cosine of 66 degrees multiplied to tangent 78 degrees. So that will be sine 78 degrees divided by cosine of 78 degrees. Now what we'll do, we're going to consider the numerator. So here we'll start by first considering sine of 6 degree, and we're going to multiply it with sine 66 degrees. So this is going to be one single product. Then we're going to take the product of the other two sine functions. So we'll take sine 42 degrees and multiply it with sine 78 degrees. So we're going to do the same thing to the denominators as well. We're going to take cosine of 6 degrees and multiply with cosine of 66 degrees. This is going to be one product, and the other product was going to be cosine of 42 degrees times cosine of 78 degrees. The reason why we're writing in this particular fashion, because we have two formulas. So whenever we have the product of two sine function given by sine of A times sine of B, and we also have a factor to multiply to it, so this transform as a difference of two cosine functions, which is given by cosine of angle A minus B minus cosine of angle A plus B. And if we have the product of two cosine function given by cosine of A times cosine of B with a factor to multiply to it, then we're going to get cosine of A plus B added to cosine of A minus B. So this is going to be the sum of two cosine function. Fine. So what we have here is the factor 2 missing. So that's fine. So we're going to multiply and divide by 2. So here also we're going to multiply and divide by 2. Now we're ready to apply the formula. So let's apply the product of two sine function. So sine 6 degree times sine 66 degree. So here we will consider A to be greater than B. So let's consider A to be 66 and B to be 6 degree. So it's going to transform to give us cosine of A minus B. We will take 66 degrees minus 6 degree minus cosine of the angle. So we'll take the sum. So we'll take cosine of 66 degrees added to 6 degrees. Next, we come to the product of two sine 42 and sine 78 degrees. We're going to get cosine of the angle. So here we'll take 78 to be A and B to be 42. So we'll have 78 degrees minus 42 degrees minus cosine of the sum of the two angles. So we have 78 added to 42 degrees. Fine. Now we're done with the numerator part. Let's go to the denominator. So we have 2 times cosine of 6 times cosine of 66. So we'll consider A to be 66 and B to be 6 degree. So we get cosine of the angle 66 added to 6 degrees plus cosine of the angle 66 minus 6 degrees. This will be multiplied to cosine of the angle. So let A be 78 and B be 42. So we have 78 added to 42, and this will be added to cosine of the angle 78 minus 42. Okay, now let's further simplify. Now we will have cosine of angle, so 66 minus 6, that corresponds to 60. So we have cosine 60 degree minus cosine of angle 66 plus 6, so that's going to be 72 degree. So we have cosine 60 minus cosine 72 degree multiplied to cosine of angle, so 78 minus 42, that's going to be 36 degrees minus cosine of angle, so 78 plus 42 will be 120 degrees divided by, now we have cosine 66 plus 6, so that's cosine of 72 degrees added to cosine of 60 degrees multiplied to cosine of 78 plus 42, that will be 120 degrees plus we have cosine of 78 minus 42, so that's 36 degrees. Now we have a standard values for each of the cosine functions. So let's state them one by one. So we'll start with cosine 60 degree. So cosine 60 degree has a value of 1/2. Then we have cosine of 72 degree. So that's given by square root of 5 minus 1 divided by 4. Then we have cosine of 36 degree. The cosine of 36 degree will be square root of 5 plus 1 divided by 4. And we have cosine of 120 degree. So that will be negative 1/2. We'll use all of this value and substitute into our expression. So we have half minus, so cosine 72 will be square root of 5 minus 1 divided by 4. Whole multiplied to cosine 36, so that's square root of 5 added to 1 divided by 4. And we have negative cosine 120, so this is going to give us positive 1/2. Divided by cosine of 72 degrees, so cosine 72 will be square root of 5 minus 1 over 4 added to half. And then we have cosine of 120 degrees, that's negative 1/2 added to square root of 5 plus 1 divided by 4. Okay, so combining half and square root of 5 minus 1 over 4, we're going to get 3 minus square root of 5 divided by 4. And this will be multiplied to the sum of the two fractions. So that's going to give us 3 plus square root of 5 divided by 4. Then in the denominator, we have square root of 5 added to 1 over 4. This will be multiplied to square root of 5 minus 1 divided by 4. Okay, now we can cancel out the 4. And then we are now left with 3 minus square root of 5 multiplied to 3 plus square root of 5. Whole divided by square root of 5 plus 1 multiplied to square root of 5 minus 1. So that's going to give us, so we have the difference of squares, 3 squared minus square root of 5 whole squared divided by square root of 5 whole squared minus 1 squared. So 3 squared will be 9 minus square root of 5 squared, that will be 5 divided by square root of 5 squared, that's 5 minus 1. So this will be equals to 4 over 4, which finally gives us the value 1. So that means the value of the trig expression tangent 6 degree times tangent 42 degrees times tangent 66 degree times tangent 78 degree, so this will be equals to 1.